Early life and background. Giovanny Espinoza was born on April 19, 1978, in Esmeraldas, Ecuador. Raised in a coastal region where football is deeply ingrained in the culture, Espinoza's early exposure to the sport came from his local community. From a young age, he showed an exceptional talent for football, and by the time he was a teenager, his skills were already apparent. He grew up in a family passionate about football, which greatly influenced his development as an athlete. Espinoza began his football journey playing in local clubs and informal street games, where his natural athleticism and love for the sport became evident. He joined Club Deportivo El Nacional at a young age, one of Ecuador's most prominent clubs, where he received formal training. Espinoza's abilities were soon recognized by his coaches and scouts, setting the stage for his future as a professional football player. Rise to professional football. Espinoza's rise to professional football began when he made his debut for Deportivo Quito in the Ecuadorian Serie A in 1996. His early performances showcased his qualities as a hardworking and intelligent defender. As a central defender, Espinoza quickly made a name for himself due to his excellent positioning, tactical awareness, and leadership abilities. His ability to read the game allowed him to perform at a high level from the start. In his initial years, Espinoza was often deployed as a reliable and composed defender who could handle some of the toughest opponents in the league. His rise within the Ecuadorian football scene was swift, and in 2000, he made a significant move that would shape the rest of his career. Espinoza signed with Emelec, one of the most successful clubs in Ecuador. With Emelec, Espinoza became a mainstay in the starting 11 and solidified his reputation as one of the country's top central defenders. International career with Ecuador. Espinoza's strong performances at the club level did not go unnoticed, and in 2001, he earned his first call-up to the Ecuador national team. His inclusion in the national team came during a critical period in Ecuador's footballing history. As the team sought to strengthen its defense for the 2002 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Espinoza quickly established himself as a reliable figure in Ecuador's defense, and his consistency and leadership on the field made him a key player for the national team. His international debut marked the beginning of an extensive international career. Espinoza played a crucial role in Ecuador's qualifying campaign for the 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany, a landmark achievement for the country. He was part of the national team's first-ever World Cup qualification, helping Ecuador secure a place in the tournament for the first time in their history. This was a major moment not only for Espinoza but for Ecuadorian football as a whole. In the 2006 World Cup, Espinoza featured prominently as Ecuador made an impressive run to the round of 16. Although Ecuador was eventually eliminated by England, Espinoza's performances were widely praised for his solid defending and composure under pressure. His leadership on the pitch was key to Ecuador's successful campaign, and his contributions helped establish him as one of the team's pillars during this era. Espinoza continued to represent Ecuador in international tournaments, including the Copa America, where his defensive prowess was again on display. His physicality, commitment to his team, and ability to disrupt opposing attacks made him one of the standout defenders of his generation in South American football. Career at club level. After his successful spell with Emelec, Espinoza had the opportunity to expand his career by moving to Europe, where he played for French Ligue 1 side, AS Saint-Étienne, in 2007. This marked a significant step in his career as he joined one of Europe's top leagues, where the level of competition was extremely high. Espinoza adapted quickly to the European style of football, gaining invaluable experience playing against some of the best footballers in the world. At Saint-Étienne, Espinoza was part of a well-organized defense and contributed significantly to the team's performances. While his time in France was relatively short, it helped raise his profile internationally and opened doors for further opportunities abroad. His defensive skills continued to impress, even as he faced challenges playing against high-caliber attacking players in the French league. After his time in Europe, Espinoza returned to Ecuador, where he rejoined Emelec for a second spell. This return solidified his status as one of the country's best defenders, and he continued to excel in Ecuadorian football. During this time, Espinoza helped Emelec win several Ecuadorian Serie A titles, further enhancing his legacy in Ecuadorian football. Peak of his career and achievements. Espinoza's peak as a player came during his time with Emelec and the Ecuador national team. He was regarded as one of the top central defenders in South American football during the mid-2000s and early 2010s. Espinoza's ability to play in high-pressure situations, combined with his consistency, made him a leader both at the club and international level. Some of his key achievements include: FIFA World Cup 2006, Espinoza played an essential role in helping Ecuador qualify for their first World Cup, and his performances in the tournament helped Ecuador reach the round of 16, one of their best finishes in history. Copa America appearances. Espinoza represented Ecuador in multiple editions of the prestigious South American tournament, where he showed his mettle against top teams in the region. Ecuadorian Serie A titles. Espinoza won several league titles with Emelec, solidifying his status as one of the country's most successful defenders of the era. Espinoza was consistently named in the Ecuadorian Serie A's Team of the Year and was widely regarded as one of the most dependable and experienced players in the league. His success at both the club and international levels earned him a reputation as a hardworking and reliable player who could be counted on in crucial moments. Later years and retirement. In the later years of his career, Espinoza continued to play for Emelec but also had stints with other Ecuadorian clubs, such as Deportivo Quito, before ultimately calling time on his playing days. He retired from professional football in 2016 after a successful and long career that spanned nearly 2 decades. Despite no longer being a professional player, Espinoza's passion for football remained strong. After his retirement, he became involved in coaching and youth development, working to pass on his knowledge of the game to younger players. His leadership and experience as a player made him an invaluable asset in his post-retirement endeavors, and many believed he could help shape the future of Ecuadorian football.